Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show, COVID-19 Update by Heerak. This is the first day in May 2020. Yes, we are in a new month. Um, I hope that your new month is off to a great start. I wanted to share a song with you that has meaning. Yes, I actually want to share that with you because I went to a Peter Gabriel concert with my best friend in Israel, Serge Goldman, and we actually went all the way down to Eilat from Jerusalem. So Jerusalem was where Serge Goldman and I were. He's actually my best friend and also was my flatmate. So in our apartment, we had 4 people. And this was a dormitory of Hebrew University of Jerusalem called Edelson. So some of you who've been in Israel or at the Rothberg School or studying at the Hebrew University Mount Scopus campus, some of you might have lived at Edelson dormitory. And so, I lived there. Um, and I had 3 roommates or flatmates. So it was like an apartment unit with 2 rooms. And there was a kitchen inside the apartment unit. So my 3 flatmates were Salman, and he was a Druzi. So Druzi is an ethnic group in Israel. And it's a blending of Islamic religion and other religions in the area, but it's not Muslim. But they generally are very loyal to the Jewish state of Israel, but they're Arabic speaking, and there are Druzi communities in Israel and Syria, so they're one ethnic group. So he actually belonged to the secret police in Israel. So he was making money as a secret policeman. Um, and he was a law school student at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. And he served in the Israeli army because in Israel, everybody serves in the army. Men served for 3 years and the women served for 2 years. And they served starting 18, so right out of high school. So men served from 18 to 21, women served from 18 to 20. So he served in the Israeli army and he had the highest score, 97%. That's the highest score. So he was fast-tracked into intelligence. He's very bright. He got accepted to Hebrew University Law School, which is #1 in Israel. So right after he finished his army duties for 3 years, the secret police in Jerusalem hired him. So he'd go to the police station in Jerusalem and work there for a while. And he had this official police department issued gun. He would like wave that thing at us loaded, scared us half to death. And my other roommates were Serge Goldman, my best friend, and he's from France. He's like a French aristocracy, and so kind of like he's a affluent French Jewish person that comes from an affluent Jewish family, and so we used to go to his parents' summer home in Bat Yam, means Door of the Sea, and we just spend the weekend just kind of meeting up with different people in the beach and having fun, you know. So, I'll show you some photos of Serge Gordman, my best buddy from Israel, sometime. I think he's a nice guy. And our other roommate was Simon Newell, and he was an artist from Edinburgh, Scotland. And so that four of us lived there. And yeah, so, we had a great time. Simon was a vegetarian, but he knew how to cook. So he would cook for us. Serge and I, we like meat, but since we didn't really know how to cook, we just ate everything that's, Simon from Scotland, Ewell from Scotland, he made for us. And then we'll just clean up afterwards. That was our duty. But on the weekends when we went to, Bat Yam to Serge's, parents' summer home, we eat basically only meat. We're going to hit the restaurants and just eat meat. But yeah, I mean, Simon didn't come with us, yeah, I don't know why. I guess I mean because I don't know why. Yeah, but so Serge and I, we just generally went there and had fun in the beach. Just like lying in the beach in Tel Aviv. Sometimes we go up to Tel Aviv, but his summer home was right by the beach. So we'll wake up, have it. He'll make us this one of those French press coffees, and then we like have a croissant or something that we had around, and then we'll go hit the beach, just kind of suntan, have fun with people there. Nice Israelis from Morocco and Algeria. It's a heavily Arabic-speaking part of Israel, and Israelis call guys from Morocco and Algeria who are Jewish, shakshakim, and they're like. If you saw, a night at the Roxbury, they have all these chains and stuff. So they kind of dress like that, play loud music like that. It's kind of funny. But yeah, Serge is kind of like, the French aristocracy. He wasn't really into all that. But, that's where his mom's parents' summer home was. So, but we had a lot of fun because you just walk out the door and there's a beach, Yeah, it was great. Yeah. So and then every Friday night, because school's over on basically Thursday. No, Friday school's over, and so we would go, and then different people that he knew would invite us for Shabbat dinner, which is like a Jewish religious dinner, and then we would eat with them, and they had a lot of meat generally because they're Sephardic Jews, so they love meat. So Shabbat dinner, we had a lot of meat. And then, the next morning we'd have the coffee and the beach, and then we'll hit the restaurants nearby. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. But anyway, Serge and I, we went down to see Peter Gabriel perform in Eilat, which is the beach area, which is right by the Taba border, which is the border to Egypt, and that's where like the Red Sea was. So a lot of Israelis went there to for vacation and enjoy themselves. So we went down. We enjoyed the beach area there. It's like Red Sea, so you have like really good coral reef life. So we snorkeled and everything, and then we hit the beach for concert. Obviously, you had to have ticket, and it was kind of gated, but yeah, it was a great concert, and Peter Gabriel sang that song, "You Shock the Monkey," and yeah. But anyway, it kind of relates to a little bit later. You'll see why I played that song in the beginning. But anyway, I'll tell you more about my life in Israel. I had over 3 years of living there. I loved every minute of it, yeah, so I'll share some of my memory bits from there. But I guess I'm in a little bit of a festive mood because it is the Cinco de Mayo weekend. I mean, technically Cinco de Mayo is Tuesday, the May 5th. But who goes out and have fun on Tuesday night, right? I mean, you have work on Wednesday, so you can't really do much on Tuesday night on May 5th. And Corona beer company closed down, so I guess you gotta find another Mexican beer to celebrate with if you're into that kind of thing. But anyway, most people, I guess, in the US and around the world celebrate during the weekend. So today's a Friday night. So this will be the night that everybody celebrates Cinco de Mayo. Obviously, I know, unfortunately, everything is closed because of COVID-19. I was just watching a rerun of Meet the Press, and the expert there was saying, yeah, we're in it for at least 18 months. So just face the reality. This expert from University of Minnesota, I guess, Center for, they have a Center for like infectious diseases at University of Minnesota. So this expert from there was saying, yeah, for 18 months, we're in this for 18 months. Yeah, but let's push those thoughts aside. It is Cinco de Mayo. So we celebrate a little bit, I guess virtually. But anyway, yeah, no alcohol though. Certainly no Corona. But anyway, it was the companies not producing any. But anyway, so today's kind of like, we're thinking about Mexico. I don't know if Mexicans are celebrating Cinco de Mayo. I wonder. I mean, it's on Tuesday. Do they celebrate it on the 5th of May? Or do they like celebrate it like, during the weekend? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not Mexican, so I don't know how that's done. But yeah, for those of you who are Mexican, my fans who are Mexican, you probably know. Email me and let me know. Yeah, anyway, so welcome to my show. This is a COVID-19 update by Heerak show. It's every night. So check back every night and get updated on coronavirus. And this will help you and your family know a little bit more about coronavirus and help you survive. And so, yeah, it can be a very important show for you and your family. So let's go to today's figures. So we have a little bit less death numbers than yesterday. We had a little bit over 2,000 yesterday. Today we have a little bit below 2,000, so we're around 2,000. So there isn't that much change. So yesterday we had total of 63,001, and 24 hours later we have 64,804. So 1,803 people have died. Confirmed cases remain relatively similar, at around 30,000 per day. So yesterday there were 1,069,534. Today we have 1,103,117. And since it is, Cinco de Mayo celebration weekend, and some of you may be celebrating, but don't forget to social distance. Celebrate alone or with your family. Don't go out there and celebrate with your friends. We don't want you to get COVID-19 and die. And now, anyway, yeah, we're going to go back to Latin America. And, I figure it's more important to see what the total deaths is because, if you have 7,000 people get infected and all 7,000 people die, that's significant, right? That's more significant than you have 1 million people get infected and then 100 people die, right? So I think it's more accurate to see who has the highest death rate. And Brazil has the highest death rate, and it's been that way for forever, or since we started the show. So it's 6,410 people have died. Obviously, that's not that many. That's only about 3 days of death in America. But it is number 1 in Brazil. And you should watch my yesterday's show and day before yesterday's show about my discussion of why Americans have so many deaths, and it may interest you. Number 2 is Mexico, and Mexico is kind of sprinting up toward number 1 spot. So there are 1,859 deaths in Mexico now. It wasn't number 2 before, but now it is. So maybe you should not be celebrating Cinco de Mayo. You don't want to go higher than Brazil, this time next week, so yeah, or this time a month from now or whatever. Yeah, so yeah, so Mexico's number 2. Number 3 is Ecuador. They've been pretty, they've been having, a lot of people kind of get COVID and die. So that's no surprise there. They now have over 1,063 deaths. Colombia is still very few, 314. Chile is 234. So Colombia and Chile have been successful, like kind of keeping it fairly low. So that's where we are in Latin America. We'll share this information again with you at the future time. But the most important thing you gotta know is that the death rate in Latin America is nothing like the death rate in the United States or Europe. That's the most important fact that you should see from today's show. And that's significant because the question you have to ask is, why is it that Americans have so many people dying from COVID, but the rest of the world, except for Europe, do not? Right? That's a question that you should be asking as a rational, logical person. Isn't that a little bit strange that America has so many people dying, but South America, Central America, those countries don't? Isn't that kind of strange? Same with Europe. You have all these European countries with tens of thousands of deaths, and then you go down to like Africa or Scandinavia, you don't have that many deaths. Isn't that like kind of strange? It's almost like this COVID-19 is targeting NATO countries, NATO, NATO, NATO countries like United States, England, France, Spanish, Italy, yeah, so that's a little bit strange. So watch yesterday's episode and episode from day before to hear my explanation on that. Yeah, subscribe to this YouTube channel so you will not miss out on any important detail on COVID-19 and check back every day. Yeah, so today, I figured it is Cinco de Mayo weekend. And so I thought we would have a little bit more of a entertainment segment to COVID-19. Since it is Cinco de Mayo and it's a celebration weekend, as you know, I'm the president of Georgetown Collaborative Diplomacy Initiative. And we were planning to have like a Cinco de Mayo celebration and coordinate it with the Mexican group at Georgetown University. But Georgetown University closed down in March, so we couldn't really do anything after that. So we couldn't have our big Cinco de Mayo celebration, unfortunately. But yeah, what can you do, right? No one expected this COVID thing to happen, and it happened, and that's where we are. Yeah, but before I forget, the reason I have the flower here is to remind you to remember Mother's Day. Mother's Day is coming, so yes, you may be at home, with the stay-at-home order in Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, and Fairfax County, but you should not forget your mother, right? Mother who gave birth to you. So don't forget to get something for your Mother's Day, like a little gift or something for your mother on Mother's Day. I mean, especially in times like this, you should encourage your mother. I sent something to my mother, so she should be getting it next week. Hopefully she'll like it. Yeah, I never forget Mother's Day. You can't never forget Mother's Day because, she gave birth to you and she raised you. Mom, I love you. Yeah, so anyway, yes, I sent something to my mom and you all should too. So don't forget, okay? So I'm going to have this flower next to me so you won't forget. Okay, see all the good things you get. You get reminders from me about sending gift to your mom. I mean, geez, you're going to be in her good graces, right? And also, it's important that you show your appreciation to your mom. Today, what we're going to do is talk about movies because I bet you miss movies. I miss movies. I miss going to movies. I remember going to movies and seeing fun movies. One time I went with, let's see, a group from where? Oh, yeah, I went to see a movie with clinical nurse leader cohort members, last year's cohort and this year's cohort members. I think it was like a year ago, before cohort 2019 graduated, clinical nurse leader. As you know, I'm in the clinical nurse leader program at Georgetown University, School of Nursing and Health Studies. So every year we have a cohort. So I'm in the Clinical Nurse Leader 2020 cohort. That's the name of our program. And we went to the movies with the Clinical Nurse Leader cohort 2019, the cohort before that. And yeah, so we had a lot of fun, at the movies. Yeah, so my cohort members, CNL 2020 cohort members, hello everyone. It's good to see you. Although some of you may not be watching this right now because you guys are working on that final research paper that is due tonight at midnight, or is it 1 minute before midnight? 11:59 p.m. So some of you are probably typing away nervously right now. So hopefully you get an A on that. Hopefully all of us get an A. I mean, don't you think we all deserve it with all the hard work we're putting in during COVID-19 time? And we were working so hard. I think all of us deserve an A. But anyhow, best wishes to you, those who are hacking away with, uh, you know, deadline approaching. Yeah, you could do it. You could do it. Come on, you could do it. Yeah. So anyway, I love my clinical nurse leader cohort members. It's going to be great when we're trying to organize a little something where we could kind of celebrate together. Not right now, but a little bit later. We may have to social distance, but we're hoping that something could happen so that we could celebrate together. Like maybe they could create a PPE which would allow us to do that, or something. But anyway, everybody's excited. About the graduation. Our cohort. We have 26 members. There are 3 guys and 3 girls, and I mean not 3 girls, 23 girls. So a total of 26, and all of us are really excited about graduating. So yeah, and I guess going on and doing a lot of important things. Although let's be honest here, some of us will die from COVID. Because if 26 of us go out and start working as nurses in nurse settings where there are a lot of COVID patients, some of us are going to get it and die. I mean, so I guess we have to psychologically prepare for that too. You know, we don't know who's going to die, but someone probably will die out of 26. Just, it's going to be lasting, 18 months? And nurses are at the forefront of it. So they are highly susceptible to infection. And if you have asthma or diabetes, or if you're obese or have pre-existing conditions, your chance of dying is kind of high. So, and there are a lot of nurses dying right now. So that's probably something to expect, unfortunately. But at least for today, Cinco de Mayo, let's celebrate and celebrate after you're done with your paper. Yeah. But anyway, let's look at the movies, okay? We have movie. I picked out some movies that deal with war, since we're kind of in a war with COVID-19. Although COVID-19 is kicking our butts, slapping us around like there's no tomorrow. But I figure, maybe we could get inspired from thinking and talking about these movies. And that'll be like our fight song. Yeah. So one movie that you might have seen, and I really like this movie, is War for the Planet of the Apes. It's a movie about monkeys fighting humans, right? So that's why I had the song "Shock the Monkey" in the beginning. Now you see. Movies are a picture into the creative imagination of people who write it, or people who decide to create a movie, thinking that this particular movie will kind of capture the imagination of the population. So they're trying to catch like what we would call zeitgeist or spirit of the age. They're trying to tap into the hopes and fears of everyone. And so those who make movies, directors, producers, obviously they want to make money, but they also want to see if they could tap into the popular psyche, the collective psyche. I've actually written several academic books on movies for academic conferences. And the way I discuss movies for my conferences, because it's generally like social scientific conferences, I discussed how movies are a reflection of the society. Sometimes movies are a couched form of commentary on the society, or movies can serve as a predictor, like how the producer or the writer or the director envisions or desires a society to be. So there are different ways artists go about producing their art, right? And we can see movie directors as artists because they're interpreting a script and producing through acting and actions and collective uh, acting performances, a vision that they want to project onto the screen, right? And the editors have their own artistic agenda. Producers, actors, actresses themselves want to portray their character in a certain way. And to a certain extent, they have the freedom of interpretation within the latitude that their director gives. And so movies represent an amalgam of art and artistic expression that embody individual expressions as well as collective expressions, programmed potential and expression, as well as unintentional or passive expressions of art forms or aesthetics. And so, I wrote about this, so kind of like almost like a movie critic from a social scientific perspective about the relevance or impact or relationship that movie has with society. So that's the vantage point that I take. If you Google my name, Heerak Christian Kim, and read some of my books, collection of academic articles or essays, you will be able to spot some of my writings on movies. I wrote one on the Da Vinci Code. I wrote one on a Bollywood movie. And I presented them as academic papers in conferences as well. So you may be interested in reading my assessment of those movies and how I saw those movies as relating to society at large and artistic expression of artists. So yeah, if you have interest in this, just have a look. So we see a perspective in war, right? The person who wrote this movie, directed this film, produced this film for us to consume, wanted to put human beings collectively in one side as a team, and then the monkeys, the apes, on the other side. So there's a type of dichotomization between two different species. And I guess to a certain extent that's like what we have now, right? With COVID-19, being a different species from us human beings, all of us human beings are in this together against COVID. I actually wrote a blog for National Council of Teachers of English, and it was published on April 30th, 2020, yesterday. And my article is on COVID-19 and how that serves as a unifier for global citizenship around the world against the virus, COVID-19. So you may want to have a look at it. Just Google NCTE blog, and you will see it in the blog website. NCTE blog. NCTE stands for National Council of Teachers of English. You could type my name if you want, Heerak Kim, Heerak Christian Kim, NCTE blog. But if you just go to the blog page, NCTE blog, it's right there among different blogs that are there. And I am actually tasked with writing the blog for April, and that's what I did by my committee. And my committee is NCTE Standing Committee on Global Citizenship. So we try to explore global citizenship and define global citizenship for the field of English, English literature, English writing, English composition, including movies, right? Movie writing, script writing. National Council of Teachers of English is for teachers and professors who teach English literature, writing, literacy, creative writing, or like movie script writing, from pre-kindergarten to PhD program. So so at Georgetown University, the English department professors would be part of this, kind of receiving our guidance officially from a professional society's vantage point, what my global citizenship is. And obviously UCLA as well. They have a really great film school. I was a PhD student at UCLA, and I remember a lot of interesting people from the film school there. And a lot of great people in the movie industry come from UCLA Film School. Unfortunately, like Hollywood has shut down right now, and we don't know what's going to happen with the movie industry. They said this COVID-19 is going to continue for 18 more months. We may not have any movies being produced for next couple of years. And some say it may go longer than that. We don't know how many people are going to die. We know that Spanish flu of 1918 killed over 50 million people. And some are saying that, you shouldn't be surprised if over 50 million people die from COVID-19 as well. We just don't know yet what's going to happen. And in the Meet the Press show that I saw, the rerun that I showed from last Sunday's show, it was saying we're only in 2 months in. We still have like minimum 16 months to go. So this expert from University of Minnesota, Center for Infectious Diseases at the University of Minnesota, he was saying those people in New York, he was kind of poking fun of people in New York by saying, I don't think he was being mean about it, but he was saying those people in New York, because they suffered a lot, they think like they're at the peak and this is done, but they're fooling themselves because it's going to last 18 months minimum. And the expert from University of Minnesota said, the virus sets the time. You don't set the time. The virus sets the time. And it's going to last minimum 18 months, maybe more. And that's his argument. He's like, New York things like they're done and over with. It's only been 2 months. They're only getting started. This is just the beginning. That's what he's saying. So can you imagine? New York State has over 20,000 people who've died. If this is only the beginning, how many New Yorkers will die by the end? I mean, it could be millions. We just don't know. I guess once New York starts opening up, you could have people dying by 10,000 people per day. It's theoretically possible, I guess. Because this thing kills. The only reason the New Yorkers only died and only a few thousand died per day, or only 1,000 died per day, is because everybody was socially isolating. Even when you're socially isolating, like 1,000 or a few hundred die per day. Can you imagine if you're not socially isolating, how many people would die? And this expert from University of Minnesota said, we don't even have that many people infected now. He's expecting that over 60% of the country will be infected. So he's like, we're just getting started. So this is kind of a little bit scary, I would say. I don't want to be a downer because this is like a Cinco de Mayo celebration. Why don't I bring some popcorn in, Lighten the mood. We have a movie popcorn. And so, yeah. So movie popcorn. So, yeah, enjoy some popcorn. Grab some popcorn for yourself. I bought some movies before, so you could see that the popcorn is went through several movies. But yeah, but anyway, it is Cinco de Mayo. You could have a movie-a-thon to watch your favorite movies. Or, hopefully you have some popcorn at home because movies are better with popcorn. But especially butter popcorn like this. Yeah, but yeah. The next movie that I thought I would discuss is Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. And for these, obviously, when you go to the movie theater, you got to put on these 3D glasses, right? You can't see Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker without 3D glasses. It's just not the same. It ain't the same. You know what I mean? So yeah, let me just put my 3D glasses on, get the whole movie experience going here. Yeah. So those of you who saw Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, it's kind of fun, right? It was fun. The idea is this one Lone Ranger kind of receiving the burden of the world upon her shoulders, right? To be the Skywalker. You know, you kind of feel sorry for her because it's like she's alone, you know, for all intents and purposes, she's alone fighting the world. You know, it's like, whoa, let me just give you a hug. You know, just feel bad for her, you know. Uh, but um, but you know, I guess World War Z with Brad Pitt is similar concept. He's fighting zombies, whereas Star Wars is fighting an evil empire, space empire. um, World War Z is fighting zombies, right? And Some of you ladies may want to give Brad Pitt a hug, but yeah. So he recently played Dr. Fauci, you know, from what I can see, he did a pretty good job, you know, playing Dr. Fauci. I wonder if he's going to be a steady stream of Dr. Fauci appearances in Saturday Night Live. Um, but you know, yeah, maybe we now have a new character in Saturday Night Live, which is kind of nice because it kind of puts a kind of an interesting spin on it. Although I don't think in real life Dr. Fauci would have been that critical of President Trump, but anyway, yeah, I guess that's what spoofs are for, right? And another movie which is nice is Avengers Infinity War, and probably a lot of you have seen it. Some of you've seen it more than once. And it's a story of all these superheroes banding together to fight evil power. Um, and Most of these movies have this theme that good will triumph over evil. And you know, I like that theme. I think good should triumph over evil. Now, um, and these movies have happy endings, you know, but I guess we do have to kind of mention this COVID-19 thing. It may not have such a happy ending. And let me just take off my 3D glasses for this, since we're done finishing watching Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Harry thinks that we should all just read books and not watch movies. But anyway, yeah, but I like movies. I miss going to movies. Look at that movie theater. It's like completely empty. That's like how all the movie theaters are right now throughout all 50 states. Every single movie theater in America is empty. Can you believe that? Oh, who would have thought in a million years we would have had a reality like this? Would you have thought this possible? We're like living in a movie. We're like in a movie, kind of, right? We're like in a movie, World War Z, or the Planet of the Apes, or Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker, Avengers Infinity War. We're kind of like in a movie now. We're all like in a surreal world. We're all like trying to evade COVID-19, an invisible virus. COVID-19, the attack of the invisible virus. You know, a movie like that, you know, and you're like, whoa, this is kind of heavy, you know. But yeah, so we're all kind of in this movie that is like reality. So it's like reality imitating art, imitating reality, imitating art, imitating reality, imitating art. You get the point, right? Yes, Harry says he gets his point too. So yeah, so there you have it. These are some of the movies that all of us really enjoyed in the past few years. And for next few years, we're not really going to see any movies in a movie theater, it seems. If University of Minnesota expert is correct, and he seems to be correct because that's what every expert is saying, this is going to last like at least 18 months. Virus, that's the time. So, but unfortunately, seems like this movie is not going to have a happy ending because we have already 60,000 plus Americans dead by this COVID-19. We don't have a virus vaccine. We don't have a cure. We're all isolated in our homes or our socially isolated locations. And as soon as we go out and start interacting, more people are going to get infected and die. Yeah, unfortunately, this movie doesn't seem like it's going to have a very happy ending. because someone you know will die from COVID. I mean, I think you gotta expect that. But it could have a semi-happy ending, and that is if you survive, right? I mean, ideally everybody survives, but that's out the window now. Already 60,000 people are dead. We don't have a vaccine. We don't have a cure. All the experts are saying will last at least a couple more years, and a lot of more people are going to die. This is just the beginning. So the happy ending that you can try to have is to ensure that you do not die. Capiche? Yes. If you do not die, that is a happy ending for you. If your children do not die from COVID-19, that's a happy ending for you. And that's why I'm calling on Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, and Fairfax County public schools to close down the public school for September to December 2020, because we don't want any of our children to die, because it's okay if they're like 1 or 2 years behind formal education, but it's not okay if they die from COVID. Let's put priorities straight here. Let's say you're the mom of your kids, Bobby and Amy. Do you want Bobby and Amy to die from COVID with a lot of knowledge in their heads, getting straight A's in the fall semester, then dying in spring 2021 from COVID with straight A's on their report card? Or do you want Bobby and Amy not to have anything on their report card in the fall 2020 and live in spring 2021? Yes, I think the answer is fairly clear. So we do need to put our priorities in their order. I mean, let's be honest here. What is more important? That your children live or that your children die? For me, I would like to see you live, and I would like to see your children live. And that is why I am calling on Arlington Public Schools, Alexandria Public Schools, Fairfax Public Schools, and Falls Church Public Schools to close the school down for fall 2020. Announce it now. Have the teachers prepare for online instruction starting now, so that they have 3 months to prepare. So by the time September comes around, your children can learn in the safety of your home with the curriculum that's been prepared for 4 months, 4 months by their teachers, cater toward online instruction. That way your children can learn and they're not going to die from COVID because they're protected in their home. That's what I think we should do. And that's what I'm calling on government of Alexandria, government of Fairfax County, government of Falls Church, government of Arlington to do, to shut down the schools for fall semester for the sake of saving lives. And I think life is so much more important than learning. And so I think this is the road that we should go. And also, if we give teachers 3-4 months to prepare, they could prepare a curriculum where they could actually teach kids something remotely through the internet online. So I think actually, we can learn and live with that road, because we do not have a vaccine. We do not have PPE that could protect your kids. And experts are saying this virus will continue for 2 years. Yes, so that's where we are. I hope that you'll take this to heart and call your local politician, your local school board member, and share that with them so that they could be convinced, because I want you and your children to live. Yeah, so my name is Heerak Christian Kim. I'm an independent candidate for US Congressman Virginia's 8th District, as you know, and that's Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, and Fairfax County. So vote for me on November 3rd, 2020, because I care about you and your children living through COVID. And this is going to go beyond 2021 and beyond 2022 if the experts are correct. And there's no reason to believe that they're not correct. And so, yeah. So I created this show to save you and your family. So make sure you watch this show religiously every day. You'll find something that is useful for you and your family members. So I hope that you will be the master of your own movie and that you will create a happy ending for yourself and your family, for your children. I hope that you will be well and that your children will be well too.